You know, every homestead has projects, and a lot of times, a lot of unfinished projects. Well, most of you guys know the weather that we had across the Midwest over the past week or so, 2 weeks. It got cold. I mean, we are in February now, but it got cold, and there's always lots of things that we want to get done. But the reality is, we work full time jobs, just trying to get the time and sometimes the resources to just kind of make everything happen. But today I'm going to show you guys some projects that I haven't completed. Some of them have a lot left to do. Some of them are little bit closer. But we're going to just kind of catalog everything that needs to be done, where I'm at on it. So the first one is this big beast right here. Now, if you guys go back to one of my earlier videos about the bomb shelter slash root cellar slash storm cellar, this is it. And the ones of you guys that don't know, I'm from Joplin, Missouri originally. Well, now I think it's on Netflix too, but the story of Joplin kind of got put on the map from the big tornado. That being said, most of you guys have been watching long enough, you kind of spy that I just got that one of those little barn buildings that I've turned into my house. Now, it's anchored, it's sitting on concrete, it's got cables, it's got hurricane straps, but at the end of the day, it's still just a little building. Now this one in particular, the reason we went with this one, it's built well. It is 2x4 wall, 16-inch centers. It has 2x6 rafters. The floors, 16-inch centers. I mean, essentially, it's built like a house, short of any modern house now is going to have a 2x6 exterior wall. But for what we did, I could have built the whole house, and if I had it to do again, I probably would. And that's not to knock on these buildings. It's just, you can just always build something better when you stick build it. But that being said, all that to say, coming from Joplin, living in that little house, keeping our family as men, keeping our family safe is the number one priority. So every year when the storm season would roll around, I would start, worrying about it. Essentially, our neighbor lives up the road around the corner. They have a storm cellar, but sometimes you just don't have time. So enough of that talk. I built this beast. And so I built this thing, and it is an absolute unit. As you can see, solid concrete. And I'm not just trying to push that other video, but if you do go back and you see there's rebar, you got an 8-inch block, there's literally rebar down every single one of these piers. And it loops up over the roof each direction. I mean, it's overbuilt. That being said, it's 100% usable now. Use chicken tin. I'm in an angle iron grid. This door is extremely solid. Got 3/4-inch bolts for the hinge. But as you can see, it's not done. So I have, but like I said, once again, I have the paint. I've got some basement paint to paint this. So I got to dig this out a little bit because it got washed in. Get that painted. But I got to get that painted. Light out of my eyes. Get this all painted right here. Get the French drain, get the rock for that. So I just need to get some clean base. Over here, I have the stuff to make the French drain. Got 100 foot. This nice perforated pipe with the, it's got the cloth on the outside of it. I need to get it done. Like sitting out in the sun's not good for that stuff. But I've got the ditch dug, which is nice. I'm going to kick this off over, let me see, there it is. I'm going to kick this off across the way there. That's the neighbor's property over there. I got permission, let that dump. It's kind of a natural spring right there. But I say all that, it's all exciting. This was a huge job. It's a huge blessing. I feel so much better to have this done. But the yard's an absolute mess. But it doesn't make sense. You know, I can't clean it up until I get it done. So that being said, one of the projects, as soon as this weather breaks, hopefully usually March, still cold, but not just so cold that can't do anything. So storm, root, bomb, whatever you want to call it. Get that completely done. Get the yard all put back together. Because the most important thing is that I am at a point, because I don't know about you guys, but for me, it's really, there's a lot of different things I want to do. It's real easy to go start another project. I mean, I could go start one right now. And I still do that from time to time. That being said, before I do any other major projects on Pace Acre, I've got to get the ones that I've started done. And that's just what's going to happen. Another thing for this is we got to get power down there. I went ahead and put, when we did the, let's see, yeah, there it is. So that's right underground right there. So I'll be able to come over here, my power pole, scratch a little, my guinea, scratch a little spot across there, and get power in there. And speaking of power, one thing when I did my little house, we came from a house in Joplin that it was literally 100, I think it was built in the 1920s something. So, you know, back then, it didn't have, but, you know, a lot of the rooms only had one outlet. You know, those, any of you guys that are in them old houses like that, I mean, you got power strips everywhere. You've had, so when I did our house, I mean, this thing's done completely just like you would any new modern home. And I put outlets everywhere. That being said, because I don't like extension cords on stuff. So here we are, though, on my outside stuff. I got one outlet right here on the power pole. I've got it. There's nothing plugged into that. It's not even plugged in. But I've got a cord to the chicken coop, and that is for the brooder that I kind of showed you guys a little bit of. So I've got the cord for the brooder, and then I've got another one. My guinea is going crazy up here. So then I've got another cord for the running into my shed over here. So I got a place for a freezer and other stuff. The main thing is I'm going to trench and get power ran. I'm going to put an outlet in the chicken coop, an outlet in here, and then going to wire up and get power in the storm cellar. And I'm looking forward to that power in there. For one, I mean, it's a dungeon without any light in there. But I built that thing big enough, it's 10 by 12, to where It's you can be multi. It can be used for a lot of different things. I mean, I'm not going to make a house out of it, but I mean, it's definitely a foundation. I even thought about building something off the top of it, and how that would be kind of neat. But moving on to the other projects, as you can see, this shed, if I don't get some sealer on that, and it really could use a roof, but if I need some sealer on that and just preserve it, um, and just get that. This shed's where it's going to stay, I think. But the shed over there by where I parked the homestead Jeep and the old truck, I'm going to move that one because, once again, future plans. There's going to be my shop over there. I've always wanted to shop. I think in a lot of cases it's every man's dream to have a shop, but that's where I've got enough room. You got to remember, it's Pace Acre. That means one. And so we just got to be smart with our space. But so projects, storm cellar, get the power ran, because I really need to get the power over to this before I can even fill that in anyways. But then the next one, this will make Mrs. Pace Acre extremely happy. Let me show you guys. All right, you see the board right here? Got a little wow in it. I got that tied up when some of the posts had already pulled even beforehand. So we got this nice deck / front porch, and that's just a little temporary board. I was checking my pitch because I wanted to go up as high as possible. But there's gonna be a roof. So right across here, I'm going to take this lower piece of metal off right here. I'm gonna put a 2x8 all the way across, right underneath that ridge, and then use structural screws, attach it to the rafters, the 2x6 rafters of the house, and then land these 2x6s from up here into there and put a roof on it. And then our deck will officially be the front porch. And there's just a lot of little things like doing this roof. We always plan on putting a porch because the house, which I'm going to make a full video on, you guys, break down for you guys, because this is, you get some land. Doing a house like this might make your dreams become a reality for a lot of you. I don't know what one of these buildings costs anymore. I'd have to look, but it can really, open some doors, especially if you guys know how to do your own stuff. Like, I'll show you well, if some of you have seen my cooking videos, you've kind of seen the inside of it. The inside of it's nice. You make them however nice you want. I mean, some people, I think, that do it essentially camp in them. I mean, that's fine too. Whatever you want to do. This one is just a full house. It's just like you do a house. I got sheetrock walls. I got cedar ceilings. Got outlets everywhere. But one thing, as I'm sitting here looking and talking to you guys about projects, I've got to trim out my windows. They're sealed. They're in there. That's one of the things, when you do something like this, those were a Facebook marketplace find, but I've got a friend of mine that has a bunch of pine, which you think, well, why would you put pine on the outside? Well, I'm going to stain it in an oil base. I'll seal it good. And it's really pretty. Like, it's from logs. But anyways, I'm going to wrap it and I'm going to route it so it goes over that flange real nice. So for the house, really the only thing left, there's lots of things we want to do to the house, but kind of future type things. But for now, just to button up where we're at, trim out the windows, get this roof on. I mean, that's going to really take this place from looking like a little building sitting out in the middle of a pasture to, wow, that's a nice place, because the building's 14 by 40. I built the deck 12 by 40. So I essentially doubled the square footage of the whole thing with the deck. And that's where we plan to have do a lot of our stuff outside. And that's going to be, fellowships, whether we have, just get-togethers. Eventually, we're probably going to screen parts of it in, things like that. But all right, so back to the project. So we're going to get the storm cellar done right here. I mean, not to mention, I got to get that hole filled in. But get the storm cellar done, get the yard all put back together, get this done, get our windows trimmed out. Oh, almost forgot. This might seem like a basic deal to you guys that just do stuff all the time, but I'm going to change this out. It's been leaking for a long time. I've adjusted this until, I've just adjusted it so many times, but that's why I have this little thing on there. It just has a little drip. That being said, so I'm going to change that little thing out, that spigot. I already have it. The ground's been froze. I've needed to do it for a while. So I plan on doing that this weekend. So that should be the first thing to get off this list. And I need to write these things down, because one thing, years ago I was a millwright, which that's a mechanical contractor. If you guys didn't know, built factories, set machinery, did that kind of stuff. Great experience. Did it for close to 10 years probably. But one of the things that you do, it's not just millwright, but I learned it when I was doing that. We do those giant factory jobs and things, is that you had to make a list, and we call it a punch list. Make a punch list, and then you just go through the list. You literally walk around and you write down everything big and small. I mean, every single thing, whether it's just tightening a bolt or putting a piece of trim up. Whatever that thing is, you do that, and you start checking off the boxes. You start making stuff happen. And it's good. It's really good when you do that, because you start, for one, anytime we finish something, it's a big accomplishment. The chicken coop, it's a chicken coop. I do like it though. I want to utilize the space. And you know what, guys? I need a place to park the new Homestead tractor. That tractor has been, if you go back to my first Sunday on the Acre, and where I introduced you to Ron Beaver, dear friend of mine, dear friend of mine. Well, that's who I bought the tractor from. He's bought that thing new in, I think, 87 or something like that. Little Ford tractor. Well, it's been inside that whole time. I get it, over here on Pace Acre. And now it's sitting outside for the first time in its life. That being said, I was thinking, where am I going to put this thing? And I walk over here talking to you guys. Here's my property line. I now see the perfect place for the little Ford tractor. And I've got the building, the structure to attach to come over and make a machine shed. I can just make it literally match this, and voila. I've got a nice place. The tractor's back in the corner of the property, out of sight, out of mind, undercover. I got a guard dog. But yeah, it's exciting. Just figured that out together, guys. This is something, this is like one of the things, this is actually a nice one. So this is a rabbit hutch that I built for my daughter. We're raising meat rabbits. She got attached to a few of them, and we're wanting to give her a chance. She just seen them. Basically, I was calling all of them. All right, so the shed right there. You come over here. That shed is going to go right here. So there'll probably be some humorous things. I'll make sure to get somebody to help me video that, because I'm sure there'll be some humorous things when I go to moving a shed across the property here. But that's going to go over there. That's going to open up the room for the shop. There's, of course, always more stuff that we plan to do as far as, back porch and things like that. One of the things that I'm going to do is get my water situation. I catch the water off the main building of the coop and this addition of the coop. And this is more than enough water for essentially, if I catch it right, keep it thawed in the wintertime, aka having power over here so I can just plug something in, not have to fight it. Then I will have the water situation, whether it's just a 55-gallon barrel, and there's a million different ways to do this. And I'm sure you guys on here, please jump in the comments if you got just some great water system that you love, that you've done. I'd love to hear about it. But then, of course, just cleaning stuff up. Continue moving forward. That's the main thing. Inside the chicken coop, it's going to get dark, so I don't want to go in there right now and lose my light. But I have my brooder in there, and we always, Mrs. Pace Acre, she always does a good job of hatching eggs. We'll just get, last year we actually had, and we might have again, a good broody mom that'll actually do the deal all the way through and not just sit on them for a week and get them going and then abandon. But usually always hatch several rounds of chickens, and then we'll do that. But I'm also going to get some Cornish cross again. Some people, Mrs. Pace Acre, Cornish cross isn't her favorite, not to eat, but just if you guys have raised them, then you'll know they're definitely kind of a mutant bird. We got all these chickens running around now making all this racket, and they don't look like any of them. But that being said, they're delicious to eat. I mean, they are. I mean, and that's what we're all used to eating. I mean, every one of us that eats chicken anywhere, you go to the store and you buy chicken, that's what you're eating. So that has a lot to do with it. And they're just so fast to grow. But I will tell you, once again, they're expensive. And if you guys have a hatchery or something that you just swear by, that you just love, for Cornish cross meat birds, I'm going to be ready, because I'm all set up for chicken processing. I also do hog processing. I'm cheeseburger over there, and all my Scripture with Josie videos you see, cheeseburger, he's going to be done right here. He was born right here, and he's going to stay right here. So this next fall, this next winter coming up, we'll be doing him here on this property, and I'll film that too. But like I said, if you guys have a hatchery that you guys like to use, then drop it in the comments. I'm all ears. We're here in the Ozarks, so I can go places. I have one that really I don't have anything to complain about over in Mount Vernon, Missouri. So, but yeah, the main thing is if you got a place where you get good birds with a good survival rate, because they do die. I mean, it's just the nature of it. But I appreciate you guys sticking around. Kind of my project update. I've got another one. I need to get Josie over there and Cheeseburger a loaf and shed. So that's on the list. But like I said, the main thing I wanted to show you guys today is the projects that I need to get done, the projects that I am going to get done, and the projects for you guys to be looking out for. The first one is going to be that changing out that hydrant, that water hydrant. And I'll tell you, that one there, it's not like that's that big of a deal. But if any of you guys dig a hole anywhere, probably, but especially in the Ozarks, you know that it's a lot of work. You're digging a hole and that stuff. See all them rocks that came out of that trench. So, like I said, stick around as soon as we get some warm weather. I already have the paint for that. I will have to go and get a load of rock. Either have it brought in or go get some. Get this thing filled in. I'm so looking forward to getting this whole thing cleaned up. I mean, honestly, there's no mowing over here. This is straight weed eating only. But all right, guys. Thanks for sticking around, and don't forget, feed your critters, love your neighbor, follow Jesus. Have a great night.